troops sent to the border here in Texas will find they have company. The National Guard members.
And good morning and welcome back to the WSJM Morning Show video live stream. This one is for Friday, January 24th, 2025.
That's awesome. I just got a text from our remote correspondent, Brett Witkowski, who said Van Buren County had between 6 and 10 inches of snow yesterday.
Get out.
Yeah.
That is a ton. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me is Mike Weibel, and out in the field, Brett Witkowski, giving us reports on snow.
Our field meteorologist, Brett Witkowski.
Yeah, exactly. 6 to 10 inches of snow. I believe it because I was talking to Paul Landecker, our Daily Buzz person, and he was supposed to come down yesterday, and he called me up at some point and said, "What's it doing down there?" And I let out a few expletives and said, "The snow is just blankety, 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 blank." He's like, "Yeah, it's really bad up here too. I think I'm going to take my calls on Zoom today."
Oh,
it's like, yeah, I think that's wise. And just as we were on the phone, we got 2 more notifications from MDOT of lanes and in one case a freeway closed. I think I-196 had issues yesterday. So it's clear over in Chicago. I guess that's because they don't get the lake stuff that we do.
Right.
It's cold.
It was very cold. Yeah,
very cold. All right. Let's see. What do we have going on here today?
What do we have?
We've been talking about airlines, and Mike Weibel wants to pay more for airline tickets based on where he lives. And we were talking about Nora O'Donnell. Her last night at CBS Evening News was last night. I was surprised and shocked. I thought she's been doing a great job.
I thought so too, but
obviously the network executives had different thoughts.
Well, and the more I read about it, the more she seemed to be quite disgruntled about her pay cut. So she probably was giving them some what for. They decided they had enough.
Yeah. I think you're right on that, especially given the ratings of network news. Network television. I mean, I don't envy their struggle.
No,
because they went from being the kings and queens of anything and everything. I mean, network news. You think about it, and I mean, you had names like Tom Brokaw and Peter Jennings, Walter Cronkite. You went from the kings of network news to now they're just one of many, and they're a whole bunch.
Yeah, and you think about how much of America tuned in to 5 or 6 o'clock to hear what Walter Cronkite had to say.
And they usually had 3 options. You could go to CBS, ABC, or NBC.
That's it.
And that's it. Now you have 300,000 options, plus the kids' soccer game. DoorDash is at the door, and all this other. You got to walk
and the 24-hour news cycle now. So now you gotta keep people interested for 24 hours.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I mean, even though they have a news station on 24/7, it's not a 24-hour news cycle. It's like a 7-second news cycle because they play the same story again and again.
Right. That's why we're News Talk Sports and not just news.
That's right.
Because after a while,
I would like it to be all news.
Right. It would be nice, but at some point you got to go.
No,
the Bears.
Yeah, the Bears. Yeah. How are your Bears? Are they picking up some Lions coaching staff?
They're trying. Yeah, they are.
They did.
And
got a head coach over there.
But I'm not a Bears fan, so I think it's a really bad career move to go to the Bears.
Yeah.
But
I thought you were a Bears fan.
No, I'm a
Packers.
No, a Buccaneers.
Buccaneers. That's right. I knew it was someplace. All right, we've got more to talk about in the morning. In a few minutes. Hey, good morning, Teresa. Teresa says, "Good morning, Bill." All caps. Teresa says it was cold. Bill says, "Good morning, guys." Good morning, Bill. And good morning, everyone else who's on the video live stream this morning. We will continue our discussions and debates when they come up over airline fees and how much we're willing to pay.
And free market.
Hey, I'm all for the free market.
No, you're not.
I just want transparency. Give me transparency. When I put in my zip code, tell me what you're going to use it for.
Hey, it's just like going to a.
Then I can spoof other zip codes.
Going to a nude beach. Sometimes you don't want transparency.
I don't even know where to take that. All right, let's get some news in. It's the WSJM Morning Show. We'll be right back.
Tax Relief Helpers hotline at 800-885-0622. That's 800-885-0622. Start your relief today.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
It's 7:05. It's the WSJM Morning Show. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me as my co-host today on a Friday, it's Mike Weibel. Hello, Mike.
Good morning, Ken.
I can't believe it. You already took us there. We're fewer than 5 minutes into the video live stream because we have video live stream on YouTube and Facebook. And you already said nude beach.
Yeah.
On the video live stream. You never know what you're going to get on the video live stream because it's unfiltered, it's unedited, it's live to the world right now, and so we'll continue.
And we thought about charging a subscription fee, but we're not doing that
only because
we're local.
We never thought about charging subscription fees.
Yeah, we did. I talked about it earlier.
Well, and if we knew your zip code, we could charge you different rates.
Oh, that's a great idea.
13 degrees.
So Bill might pay more than Teresa.
13 degrees in Benton Harbor right now. St. Joseph, 15 degrees. South Haven is 16 degrees. Drops off as you head east and south. It's Dowagiac has 8 degrees right now. New Buffalo, 9 degrees. Buchanan, 8 degrees. The feels like temperature is quite a bit colder than what it actually shows on the thermometer. New Buffalo is an example. They are down at 1 degree. As far as feels like, Buchanan is at 0 right now. So it's still chilly out there. Although I will say the roads seem to have improved.
Yes.
From some of the warm up that we had, more plows were able to get out there and spread the chemicals and the salt and all that other fun stuff. Forecast for today, we are expecting partly sunny skies and a chance of snow, only a slim chance of snow, a high around 20, southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight's forecast, mostly cloudy, a chance of snow again. A low overnight of 15, still not bad. South winds gusting up to 25 miles per hour. Saturday's forecast, we're going to get up to freezing for a high. It should be around 32 degrees. And then we'll keep the above freezing temperatures starting Monday as far as highs go. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we have partly sunny skies forecast and highs somewhere between the lower and mid 30s. Maybe getting as high as 37 degrees. On Tuesday and Wednesday. I don't even know what we're going to do when it gets that warm.
It's going to be crazy.
Put on our cargo shorts and our hoodie and pretend we're like we're attending the inauguration.
I think so. Straw hats.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Did you see that? John Fetterman, senator from Pennsylvania, wore cargo shorts to the inauguration
Is that
this week.
just like brand now to try to be a disruptor? It just seems like, because occasionally he'll wear a suit and then every once in a while he'll show up with something like that. And you're like,
he looks good in a suit. I don't know why he doesn't wear a suit. Everyone wears a suit. All the other senators must be just going, John, what are you doing there? How you doing? How you doing? How you feeling today, John? All right. Some of the news from the WSJM newsroom, and then we'll get back to more chit chat. Mike brought his computer in today, by the way.
I did.
Because he was tired of getting research projects and using his phone to find information.
Yeah. Well, now I have the video live stream on my phone that I can watch, and I can be on the computer. So I've stepped it up.
And you even have lap tats. So we'll talk about those in a moment. I have questions.
We'll go right ahead.
I have questions. Some of the news that we're following from the WSJM newsroom today. Benton Township is moving forward with what they call a major project to connect its sewer system to the joint wastewater treatment plant that's operated between Benton Harbor and St. Joseph. Benton Township Supervisor Kathy Yates tells us the Township Board of Trustees this week advanced the $9 million project forward.
The one we're working on currently is going to the wastewater treatment plant, where we're connecting underground, where we're going to have our own connection.
The city of Benton Harbor and Benton Township currently share a connection to the plant. Yates says establishing a new line for the township by the township, operated by the township, has been a goal for years.
It was agreed upon in 2000 that would happen, and it never was done. And so they want the agreement fulfilled.
Yates says most of the project is being paid for with a state grant. The project approved this week comes about a month after Benton Township trustees authorized another $12.9 million in water and sewer system work, all funded with federal grants. Berrien County Central Dispatch is making a push to attract more new 911 operators, and they're putting out new recruitment videos. There's a shortage of emergency dispatchers in Berrien County. That's according to Central Dispatch Director Caitlin Samsel. She told county leaders on Thursday she was brainstorming new ways to address that shortage and saw a recruitment video contest on social media made her think the county can do the same thing.
And we did recruitment videos, shooting both inside of our center and then with some of our public safety partners like the sheriff.
The videos feature interviews with Samsel, Sheriff Chuck Hite, Buchanan Police Chief Harvey Burnett, and testimonials from existing Berrien County 911 dispatchers.
I love my job because I love helping people, because I love being in the space where I'm needed. I love the thought of being of service to someone else, to making sure that their day is better by something that I did for them.
Samsel said the recruitment videos lay out what it takes to be a dispatcher and why it's rewarding. In her testimonial, Samsel notes that she worked her way up through the ranks at dispatch, proving that advancement is possible. The county currently has 34 dispatchers who work in 12-hour shifts, usually 5 to 10 dispatchers at a time. Samsel said the shortage of dispatchers, not just a Berrien County issue, national problem. Can you imagine having the job as a 911 dispatcher?
No.
Bless them for doing that.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. So we have more information on the campaign itself at our website. Maybe you're interested in becoming a dispatcher. Check it out. It's at WSJM.com. St. Joseph Public School student athletes are getting a new path to financial support from area parents and fans of school-sanctioned sports. Launching this week, the Maize and Blue Fund, a new initiative to raise, steward, and distribute resources to enrich and support the experiences of athletics at St. Joseph Public Schools. Yeah, the Maize and Blue Fund president, Rick Dyer, tells us the fund is different from boosters and will work on a broad array of projects that enrich the student-athlete experience.
The whole purpose here is to support athletics throughout the district at all levels, at all sport. Just because we believe in the value of athletics and what athletics helps with in well-rounded students that are produced by St. Joseph Public Schools.
Organizers say the Maize and Blue Fund mission is to ensure that all athletic programs and teams and activities benefit, not just select sports or groups. School Board President Kerry Wright says this fund can have a significant impact on the student body athletics.
And I would love for the Maize and Blue Fund to get to that point one day where we're fundraising significant dollars and then distributing those resources to our student athletes. The ability for this Maize and Blue Fund to impact a huge number of students in the district is what gets me excited.
The nonprofit foundation consists of a 15-member board. They say they'll work in a similar fashion to the St. Joseph Public Schools Foundation. During its first meeting this week, organizers announced the foundation has already received donation commitments of $60,000. That's pretty cool.
It is.
Yeah, that's very cool. As a Lakeshore Lancer, you probably don't like that.
Well, I don't understand the difference between that and the boosters. Like, I don't get it. But
You can go to one of the meetings and find out.
No.
Okay.
I'm not that interested.
You ready for this one? I've got a fun story for you.
Lay it on me.
You ready?
Yep.
Officials with the city of Bangor are working to clarify why the city council earlier this month approved a motion allowing city officials to file charges against their citizens for saying things that they think could cause harm to the city. City Attorney Scott Graham says it's not a matter of limiting free speech, and he says the city does not have that right or an interest in doing that. However, he says they do want to stop deliberate falsehoods from coming forward.
What the city is interested in doing is limiting false statements, especially statements that are knowingly false, that damage the reputation of the city, its elected officials, and its appointed officials.
One such alleged falsehood dealt with a certain city official, apparently, allegedly, according to the rumor, which they say is false, receiving 2 paychecks from the city.
Really?
Yeah, being paid twice for whatever they do. Bangor City Manager Justin Weber says the city has been greatly harmed by false statements and they want the falsehoods to stop. In a new public statement shared yesterday with WSJM, officials say the city does not support people who knowingly lie about the city and its representatives who are trying to conduct business. And they gave us the full statement. We've got it posted on our website at WSJM.com. Thoughts?
I just think it's funny how now, if you say, it just sounds to me like, if you say stuff that you're not saying nice things about us, not only do we not support you, but we publicly like to say you're a doo-doo face.
And we're going to sue you.
Right.
We're going to sue you. So I'm not sure exactly what prompted Bangor to make this move, but have they seen social media?
I know.
Do they know what exists out there and all the things people say? What? Just ignore them. I mean, once you get into the pig pen,
right,
you both get dirty.
Right.
You're
not going to win that one. So
yeah, I don't know. I mean, and there are already libel and slander laws on the books generally.
Right.
So Yeah, and just
So are we going to become like Europe to where they just come and arrest you and throw you in jail because you said something on social media they don't like?
I don't know. Anyway,
I hope not.
It's just, again, Bangor, the full statement is on our website, WSJM.com. We appreciate them responding to our questions. It's just, I still don't understand what they thought they would gain by saying, we now reserve the right to sue you if you say something that is knowingly false.
According to who?
Well, yeah. Right? Yeah, I guess a judge eventually. All right. It's 7:15. It's the WSJM Morning Show. We've got sports coming up with Dave Wolf. We'll have more to talk about here. I'm Ken Lundberg. Mike Weibel's with me. It's the WSJM Morning Show. Join us on the video live stream. We'll continue our chatter there.
The Detroit Red Wings ended their
If I can push the right buttons. There it is.
Minor details.
Okay. Good morning and welcome back to the video live stream. Got a lot of activity happening there. A lot of activity happening there. Let's see.
It's just happy weekends back and forth. It's just nice, pleasant.
Good morning.
Live stream stuff.
Good morning from Teresa. Good morning from Bill to Teresa. John Hawkins says, good morning, everyone. 26 degrees in Memphis, Tennessee. 26 in Memphis.
Top of the morning.
Teresa says, hey guys, we're going to be in a heat wave. That is true. 32 degrees. No idea what to do. The dog will jump around in the unplowed snow and bring it all inside and the mud too. Let's see.
That's the worst.
Oh yeah.
When everything starts melting and the dog, you got to clean the paws all the time.
Teresa says, go to the beach. LOL.
Go to the beach.
Go to the beach. Diane says, good morning, everyone. Have a great day and weekend. You too. Good morning, Diane. You have a great weekend too. Any plans this weekend?
We got some kids home for the weekend. So our California kids are in town. So,
oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
What are you guys going to do? Anything fun? Anything special?
Well, they're used to California weather.
Oh, yeah.
So
they don't live near LA, do they?
No, they're
Okay.
San Jose.
Okay.
But so they're not real big fans of cold weather, needless to say. And at this point, if we do a fire in the fire pit, it's probably too soon for a fire in the fire pit for Californians. So,
too soon.
Yeah, they're probably not enjoying watching a fire in the fire pit.
Oh, I see.
Where I was going with that one.
Okay. Oh, I get it. Because of LA.
Right.
You were making a fire joke.
I was. Too soon?
I feel bad about, and they say in Southern California, it's going to rain this weekend. So that's going to alleviate a lot of the problems. You're on your phone and your computer at the same time.
I'm doing research for you.
What are you doing?
I'm looking at something.
What are you researching?
Before I say it,
Oh, okay.
I want to make sure this is factual.
All right. Oh, yeah. Please don't say anything not factual.
Because then we'll
City
get
of
sued.
Bangor will get mad at
Right.
you. Let's see here. Oh, look at that. This is interesting. You ever follow Amy Schumer?
I don't really follow, but I
mean, she's funny.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
She's funny. Amy Schumer. Oh, now we've got weather here. All right. We'll talk about it in a moment. Right here on the WSJM Morning Show.
Morning becoming sunny this afternoon, but definitely chilly. We're going to see temperatures in the 20s this morning and in the 20s this afternoon. Wind chills will be in the single digits. Down to 15 tonight. A few flurries possible tonight and a couple of light snow showers Saturday, partly sunny and a high of 32. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
It is the WSJM Morning Show. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. Thank you for joining us. Here with us this morning, Mike Weibel, co-hosting. It's 7:19, and I wouldn't say that we have a heat wave out there, but it does at least, I feel there's a perception of warmth
Yeah.
out there.
Well, if it's not as windy today, which it sounds like it's not going to be,
Yes.
it will seem quite nice.
Yes, so we have 13 degrees in Benton Harbor right now, 15 in St. Joseph, 15 in South Haven. The feels like it's still in single digits. I mean, Benton Harbor, for instance, feels like 3 degrees right now. So it's still heavy coat weather. Do that for sure. But the roads have improved somewhat, and hopefully we won't have the same problem that we had yesterday with the blowing snow, the visibility issues, and some of the freeways being closed down. Did you research what you were researching? Did you want to say it?
I don't think it's true.
Oh, somebody.
Something. It was a post, and I was like,
Oh,
and
okay.
it was a picture of a freestyle ski ramp
Okay.
that was built next to a nuclear power plant,
Oh,
and it was like
another one of those internet things
I
that
think
is
so.
just not true.
I think that's
There's a lot of that out
a
there.
misnomer.
There's a lot of that. Can you imagine if they actually found a way to edit the internet to only include true things?
Yeah,
How,
exactly.
how much internet space do you think would be cleared out?
A lot. and everybody would want to be going to Bangor for that.
Yeah, speaking of things that are not true, I'm going to butcher his name, but you'll know who I'm talking about. The former interpreter of Los Angeles Dodgers baseball star Shohei Ohtani. The person's name is Ippei Mizuhara.
You did pretty good with that, though.
Thank you. He pleaded guilty last spring to charges of bank and tax fraud after stealing nearly $17 million from Ohtani. That's so much money.
That's a lot of money.
And he didn't even notice it, in part to pay off gambling debts he accumulated.
Oh.
Yeah. On yesterday, the publication The Athletic published audio of Mizuhara impersonating Ohtani on the phone to push through a $200,000 wire transfer from one of Ohtani's accounts. It was a recording actually obtained by the Department of Justice. So maybe Ohtani did notice, and he sicked some people on him, and they said, we got better tap these phone lines.
Bangor, and they got on it.
During the audio, the bank representative asked who she was speaking with, and Mizuhara could be heard in response saying, "I'm Shohei Ohtani." Like, do you believe me?
Change his voice.
I'm Shohei Ohtani. While impersonating Ohtani, Mizuhara claimed that the wire transaction was for a car loan for a friend. How many times have you picked up the phone and said, "Hey, I'd like to transfer some money from my accounts. I would like $200,000. What's the money for? Car loan for my friend." What do you need a $200,000 transfer for a car loan? I'm gonna loan you $200,000 by. Couldn't you find a used Pinto?
I'm sure
for a little less than that,
for a fraction of that cost.
Well, let's see. When asked by the bank representative if there would be future loans to the same friend, Mizuhara responded, possibly. What in the world? In the court filing, the audio
I don't
was
know why he got caught.
Yeah, exactly. He's so smart. He's a master criminal. Prosecutors are reportedly recommending a sentence of almost 5 years for Mizuhara. He's scheduled to be sentenced in early February. His sentencing date has been postponed multiple times, I guess, while they keep laughing over how he enacted this fraud. The U.S. Attorney's Office is expecting Mizuhara to pin the blame for his theft on an addiction to gambling. But the prosecutors refute that. They say even if the defendant is addicted to gambling, it can't fully explain his conduct because he used stolen funds for numerous personal expenses that had absolutely nothing to do with gambling. Yeah.
Sound like he's in trouble.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Costco. This one. So we've seen.
Speaking of in trouble.
Yeah. Speaking of in trouble, we've been talking a lot in the last few weeks, months. Corporations in the United States have been changing their diversity, equity, inclusion policies, the DEI policies. Many times it started with a social media influencer who says, "Hey, company X, what are you going to do about this?" And before the firestorm of customers can trash their company or stop shopping at these locations, the companies change their policies. Well, now you have the Trump administration, and they've changed the federal government's policies. And so now Costco has been dealing with this on both sides of it. And so they put it to their shareholders. They said, hey, shareholders, what do you want us to do with our DEI policies? So Costco shareholders have voted down an investor proposal from a conservative think tank that urged management to investigate the business risks of its diversity initiatives. More than 98% of shares voted against the proposal, according to preliminary results released by Costco. And the chairman, Hamilton Tony James, he and other board members had asked shareholders to reject the proposal involving the company's diversity, equity, and inclusion policies ahead of Thursday's annual meeting. They say, we owe our success to the more than 300,000 employees who serve our members every day. It's important that they all feel included and appreciated, and that they transmit these values to our customers. So they put it up to the shareholders. Shareholders said, Yeah, we're fine.
Right.
We're fine. Apple did something similar recently. So those are two companies that that said that. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's obviously the landscape has changed, and I think for quite a few years, corporations felt very pressured to take a certain line, and now what that seems to be
To put DEI stuff in place.
right,
Yeah. And
things like the LA fires and stuff like that call that into question of whether that's a good idea.
speak more. What do you mean?
Well, some of their DEI hires and some of their policies, and then your fire hydrants don't work. And is that really is equity really the best solution to putting good people in good places?
Okay. We'll explore more of that. Yeah. I think it's to me, it's how is it implemented?
Right.
How is it monitored? And to what objectives are you shooting for?
Right. Well, and I think too, you've got people that are, I mean, the argument goes back to like airline pilots.
Okay.
So if you hire an airline
From a
pilot
zip code.
based on their
Zip
their
code.
zip code, their race, their religion, their
Yeah.
sexual preference,
Right.
are they really the best pilot to be? I mean, in general, on paper, that sound great, but when I'm flying through a thunderstorm, I really don't care about that part. I just want the best pilot, right?
Always want the best.
Right. So when you're hiring people based on these peripheral things,
Yeah.
are you really getting the best talent?
Yeah.
And isn't that in a way a reverse discrimination?
Yeah.
Because you might have somebody who's extremely talented and gifted. Does it really matter if they're gifted? What race they are? What does it really matter?
Yeah.
To me, no, it doesn't. I mean,
Yeah.
I just don't. I realize, you know, the culture in the world is very diverse, and we have all these opinions and ideas, and some people are very closed-minded. I get that, but you know, in 2025, I would hope that we've reached a place where we want the best people, the most talented people. We want things that makes, rather than just putting in, you know, hey, I think every basketball team needs somebody who's 5'2" because those guys are discriminated against.
Yeah.
That's not going to help anything.
Yeah. On very well stated. Thank you for sharing that.
Certainly.
Appreciate that. And it's going to continue to be a debate.
Yeah.
And I think it was smart of Costco's leadership to say, I don't care what I believe. I mean, we'll put our position out there.
Right.
What do you want?
Well, because stockholders are owners.
Right.
So, hey, our owners, we're going to send it out there and tell them, hey, what our owners are going to decide. There you go.
Yeah. Then you don't run into the issues.
Right.
All right. Let's see. I've got one more I want to cover, which is totally off topic.
Okay, let's go.
Totally off topic. Coffee and cancer. So I drink a lot of coffee, and I always see the health things on both sides.
Right.
I've seen a new health thing that gives me hope.
Okay, give it to me.
If the only thing getting, let's see. So researchers have now found people who consume coffee and tea on a regular have a slightly lower risk of head and neck cancers.
All right, then.
Yeah, they're about. I didn't know this. You think head and neck cancer? I've never heard of such a thing. There are about 12,800 new head and neck cancer cases. Just in this is where the study was in the UK alone every year. 12,800 and 4,100 related deaths every year.
Wow.
In the UK, which is again where the study was. The new study says it doesn't prove that tea and coffee are themselves protective against such cancers, but experts say the findings help shed light on what has been a much debated area with some, what they've said in the past have been inconsistent results. They say while there have been prior researches, there's been prior research on coffee and tea consumption and reduced risk of cancer, this study highlighted their varying effects with different subtypes of the head and neck cancer, including observation that even decaf coffee had some positive impact. So if you want to take a look at the article, it's in the journal Cancer. They took a bunch of different studies, put them together, analyzed the information. It says the researchers analyzed data for about 9,548 people with head and neck cancers and 15,783 without. And they took a look at coffee and tea and they decided there's benefit there. That's good.
Yeah, I did see a post at the beginning of 2025 that said stop your coffee consumption, you can and replacing it with green tea, you can decrease your overall life satisfaction by 87%.
So if I follow what you just said, what you
Yeah.
said was if you stop drinking coffee and you start drinking tea, you decrease your life satisfaction by 87%.
Yeah.
Why would I want to do that?
That was our whole point.
Why?
The thing is, the little bit of satisfaction I have left, do I really need to change?
Well, and the funny
coffee
thing
to
is
tea?
I'm drinking coffee and you're drinking green tea over there.
I know.
All right, so you're 87% less satisfied than I am?
Probably.
All right. It's the WSJM morning show. I do want to get to this story. We don't have time right now because we've got to get to a couple of news things in the Bloomberg Market Minute. But there's a woman in South Bend. I love Ring cameras because of the video they show. And if you saw this story on social media within the last couple of weeks, there was a woman who went up to a door somewhere in Indiana and rang the door and said, "Hey, police. I'm the police and I'm coming in." Answer the door. Open the door, please. She wasn't police. You could see that on the Ring camera.
Right.
And on her way and on her way away from the property, she stuck a knife into the parked car, the vehicle that was in the driveway. She stuck a knife into the tire and it went just like that. So they were looking for this person. They found her.
Really?
Yeah. So we've got that story. We'll talk about it in a couple of minutes right here on the WSJM Morning Show. Good morning.
Would you call free checking that pays you cash back on?
You ever do that? You ever
put a knife in a tire?
You ever
No.
put a knife in somebody's tire?
No.
Me either.
So I just saw this Fortune 500 CEOs undergraduate degrees in 2024.
Okay.
So these are Fortune 500 CEOs where they went to school.
Oh, okay. Fortune 500 company executives. Where did they go to school?
Right.
All right.
At number 10, 6 Fortune 500 company CEOs graduated from Miami University of Ohio.
Okay.
At number 9, Princeton was 7, Purdue 7, Texas A&M had 7, University of Michigan 7, Boston College 9, Harvard 10, Cornell 12, UPenn 14. And are you ready for this?
Yep.
No degree at all. Number 1 at 25.
Oh, okay. So looking at Fortune 500 executives,
Yeah.
Where they went to school, and 25 of the top Fortune 500 folks didn't.
Right.
Huh.
Have no undergraduate degree.
Okay.
Interesting.
What do you make of that?
Well, you could certainly, hopefully kids are already going to school and not listening, but you could say that there would be an argument made that going to college is not like what used to be considered of, hey, basically, if you have a college degree, you write your own ticket, that there's many people who are entrepreneurial that basically exceed and excel in their field and don't necessarily do it through having a diploma.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so the classic example has been Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Right. Didn't finish college.
Right.
And look at him now. Right. Divorced.
Right.
No, he's not broke. I'm sure he's just happy as a clam. And,
but is he happy as a clam?
And he's the outlier. Right.
Right.
And he's the outlier. And I mean, Fortune 500, that list alone is an outlier.
Right.
Because you're taking a look at the 500 companies that are doing great around the
A lot of them are
world.
tech right now.
Out of how many companies in the world?
Right.
So I think it's important to understand kind of it's almost like, to me, it's like the NBA. Everyone can pick up a basketball, but how many are going to be Michael Jordan?
Right.
And you know, is there an innate talent and an ability within each and every one of us to be the next Steve Jobs or Bill Gates or Elon Musk? Maybe we just don't know how to tap that.
Right.
But there are those who do, and for those who don't, maybe college is a good thing. We also heard this week from people with vocational training and how much opportunity there is there right now.
Yes.
I mean, had I to do over again, I would, and in fact, I did this a little bit when I was exploring kind of career options. Electrician. How cool is that? Because it just made sense.
Right.
It's like you got the power, you got the ground, you got the loop, you got the circuit, you got this, that, and the other thing.
Well, they say that's one thing. I've read an article just the other day about AI and the concerns about replacing jobs with AI.
Right.
That those jobs, trades where you work with your hands are only going to increase in value because AI doesn't change that.
Yeah.
One of the things that is going to be in trouble are those people who went to school,
Yes.
have a degree for analytic type positions, and AI can do it faster, cheaper, whatever. So that's going to change. I mean, AI is going to change that. But
yeah, I mean that, and so we've already seen the United States go from a thinking economy to a service economy.
Right.
And those service positions still shielded from AI at this point. But just wait.
Right.
Just wait.
Well, and I'll tell you what I have told my kids is by getting a college degree, you get looks at jobs that you wouldn't get. I mean, it doesn't mean that without the degree you can excel.
Hang on one second. We'll talk about that in just a moment.
Please.
We are slaves to the clock. Hang on one second.
Pay and better benefits. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here is Mike Weibel. We were talking on the video live stream. If you're missing that, you're missing a lot. We were talking on the video live stream just a second ago about college, and Mike brought up a list of Fortune 500 folks, CEOs, the top executives, and how many of those, where they went to school, where they went to college for their higher education, and topping the list with 25 of the top 500 Fortune 500 CEOs, 25 of them didn't.
Right.
They didn't go to higher education. And so that started a discussion about, well, the importance of getting an education, getting a survey of things around you and available to you, paths that are available to you. But you were saying this is what you tell your kids.
Yeah, that by going to school and getting an education, a degree, it gives you looks at jobs and promotions that you would not get otherwise. So it opens doors for you. Doesn't mean that anybody that you're not smarter than everybody else or that you're not more talented, but it will give you an opportunity like you, but it'll give you opportunities that other people at this point will not get. Because if you walk in and say, hey, I'm 22 years old, I don't have a degree, I never went to college, and I want to be this manager, they're going to be like, okay.
It's a struggle.
Yeah.
Right. And so as somebody who didn't finish his higher education until later in life, that's me.
Right.
I found it to be a personal struggle to make sure that I was making all the right moves, learning all the right things, having the right perspectives going into roles that I wanted.
Right.
And I was fortunate that I was able to get from Podunk Town to bigger town to Washington, D.C. to do things without that higher education degree. Still wanted it, so I went and got it. And what did it give me? It gave me a better worldview of different ways to approach problems.
Right.
And that kind of thing. And so I think it's great. And so what I guess bottom line it is the vocational education, we talked a lot about that this week on the show, is along with those trades that they're teaching people, they're skilling people up on. I hope they're also teaching them kind of that liberal arts perspective of here are the other things.
Right.
Because it goes back to the old axiom of we're doomed to repeat those things that we forget. Right.
Well, and the thing is like you can train somebody to be an electrician, like we talked about before, but if they don't have any business sense, then they're doomed to be either working for somebody else, or making really bad
That's not really
decisions.
Doom.
Well, it is if you
relegated
your dream
to
is I want to be my own boss. But I don't know how to run a business. Then
good point. We are going all over the place here this morning.
We are. It's a lively Friday.
It's a WSJM morning show. We've got ABC News, our preview of our local news coming up next. Also sports. Check on what's happening across the state. It's all right here on the WSJM morning show.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packard. President Trump has ordered an initial wave of 1,500 active duty military personnel to the U.S.-Mexico border as part of his crackdown on illegal immigration, the first of those troops arriving today. At a series of ICE raids Thursday across the country, part of a nationwide enforcement following President Trump's executive order. Leticia Zavala is coordinator of a group which represents immigrant farm workers across North Carolina, some undocumented.
We help people have power of attorney so that other people can pick up their children that are in school if they get picked up at work or another place. We're telling people not to open the doors.
President Trump to travel to wildfire-ravaged Los Angeles today. Governor Gavin Newsom in California signing $2.5 billion in wildfire relief. A new study finds adults with ADHD tend to have shorter life expectancies. Researchers say one factor, those patients tend to be more impulsive, taking risks. This is ABC News.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
741. Who haven't we offended this morning? It's the WSJM Morning Show. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me is Mike Weibel. We're just talking. I mean, it's Friday, and as Fridays typically go, we clean out everything that we've been wanting to talk about from the news this week, and then we pick out some new stuff and just go off on tangents. So we're having a good time, and if you want to check it out, it's on the video live stream right now on WSJM. Sorry, my microphone just feels very loose today.
Yeah. I noticed you're
inordinate amount of fiddling. All right, so some of the news that we are covering in the WSJM newsroom today. Berrien County is considering new options for where it gets its medical examiner services. We learned a little bit more about Western Michigan University and the Berrien County. Berrien County says a lot of people have been turning over at the medical examiner's office at Western Michigan University, where Berrien County gets its ME services.
When you say turning over, you mean the professionals, not the people that are there, not the dead people turning over.
Oh dear. Western Michigan University medical examiners,
problem as well.
The medical examiner's office people are turning over, and that's causing a big problem for the justice system because they can't get their same people to testify without having to pay them an exorbitant amount of money to be an expert witness. So that issue, we'll talk about that at 8 o'clock. Also, an effort is underway to form a new authority, read that, a tax authority, that could raise money to dredge the St. Joseph River in Benton Harbor and St. Joseph. You ever do recreational fishing out there?
Yeah.
And you ever get stuck on a sandbar in the middle of the river?
I have not, but it could easily be done.
Yeah. So last year, you'll remember WSJM told you about this story. There was some shoaling that happened in the recreational area of the St. Joe River beyond the area where the commerce happens.
Right.
And so there was like an emergency permit application put in. Nothing ever happened. Nobody ever dredged because they couldn't raise the money to nobody was willing to put up the money to dredge that river. Everyone was pointing their fingers everywhere else saying, well, it's their issue. Meanwhile, the recreational, especially fishing that happens in that area could take a hit because the shoaling didn't go away.
Right.
I don't think.
No.
They're going to check it again this year and maybe
especially with the low water level.
Yeah. So maybe they'll get a solution. So we'll talk about that and local officials who are involved in trying to set up a new authority. And then also state and federal grants to help pay for the renovation of the Bobo Brazil Community Center. They're in place, but they haven't moved forward yet. It takes some more action from the the Benton Harbor City Commission. So they're taking a look at that next week and some of the things that they need to do with the Bobo Brazil Center before accepting some of the grant money. So we'll talk about those stories and more. It's coming up at 8 o'clock right here on WSJM. We've got state news in just a moment. First, also we have sports coming up from Dave Wolf, but first our state news.
The Michigan News Network.
All right. Okay. All right. We've got, let's see, we talked about that. So Alex Svetlev put on our live chat today, there's no city where there's enough water pressure to run most fire hydrants at once. They're designed for just running a couple at once.
Mm-hmm.
Alex, tell us why you said that, because I love that fact. Is it just a factoid? Or are we talking about Los Angeles? Or are we talking about?
I think it's my comment about Los Angeles
Oh, okay.
that he's responding to
I see. Okay.
about DEI and fire hydrants.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Well, thank you.
Which I agree that if everybody turned on their faucet at one time in their house, that there would be a problem. Right? If everybody runs their faucet because of water pressure, there would be an issue.
Right.
And so,
sorry, I'm just not following. Tell me what's the concern here? What
his point is that if you turn on all the fire hydrants to put out all these fires, you're going to lose pressure.
Yes.
And so the fact that they lost pressure, fire hydrants is not something that necessarily could have been avoided.
Okay, I get it.
I believe that's what he's saying.
I see. Okay, that makes sense. And I know early on when they were taking a look at some of the issues as to why they got out, they were able to get out of control.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just the wind alone is a huge problem.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The Santa Ana winds, but some of their policies out there as far as water goes, like they were fixing some reservoir and the work just hadn't gotten done in like a year and a half.
Right.
So they didn't have the reservoir fill that could otherwise have been used for firefighting. So there are just a lot of different issues out there, and I'm going to predict it's going to be years before they figure out everything that went wrong.
Yeah.
And how to prevent it in the future. I was seeing on social media in many areas in Europe where they had fires early on. They don't build with wood anymore. They build out of cement and brick and all that. I mean, you've seen it.
Right.
It's beautiful. Makes a lot of sense.
I'd also read an article that State Farm last year in California canceled, I believe it was 67% of their homeowners insurance.
Yeah,
in the LA
right.
area.
Yeah,
because of concerns of fire.
Yeah,
because the land management things had not, they had changed their policies on land management and brush and fire breaks, and they considered that to be too high of a risk.
Yeah,
you would have thought at that point that would have been a red flag, but
yeah, fire's scary.
It is.
No. All right, we will continue in just a moment on the WSJM Morning Show. We've got the I've termed this story "Ashes to Ashes."
Okay.
Because this is the follow-on to the story about the woman who punched a knife into someone's tire.
Yeah.
There were ashes involved.
What?
Like human remain ashes.
Okay.
Believe it or not.
Add more to that.
We'll tell you about that as soon as we get back on the air. Let's see what else. Oh, what else are you looking up over there? You found anything good?
Not at the moment.
You can't just bring the computer in and not find fun stuff.
I've been giving you. I've thrown up some stuff this morning.
Need
we've
more.
offended people.
More.
Like
go ahead.
I said, my one quote of the day was transparency. Like going to a new beach, sometimes you don't want to see it.
That's not our quote of the day. We thought, what was our? If it's safe to do so.
Oh,
that's our quote of the day. Remember?
Well, you can go to a new beach if it's
safe to do so.
Lean to the right, exhale.
I like that. If it's safe to do so.
If it's safe to do so.
All right. What else we have on our? Teresa says the hour goes by so fast. Thank you, Teresa. We think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
We can all send snow to California. That would be something. Yeah. They don't say that, Teresa, because they might actually want it. They might actually start demanding it.
I think Florida would like to send snow to them.
Oh man,
Like
did
8
you
inches
see
of
that?
snow in North Florida?
Did you see that?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, every now and again you think, okay, there's going to be a dusting somewhere in somewhere unusual. Bourbon Street, they had up to 10 inches.
Yeah.
New Orleans, Bourbon Street.
So when I lived in Florida for 11 years.
Yeah.
And when I was there was people that had never seen snow.
Yeah.
Because they'd always lived in Florida. And so when there was a dusting in North Florida, people would jump in their car and drive to North Florida like they were giving away something for free. And I used to say to them, all you gotta do is open up the freezer and stick your head in there. You're gonna get the same experience.
Yeah.
But no, that was a bit. So I'm sure now they're like, okay, we're good. We're good now.
Yeah. Well, and I can't remember if it was, I think it was Disneyland. I think it was the Disneyland in Anaheim where they had fake snow. They were making snow that you could play on.
Yeah. Well, in Lakeland, Florida, where I lived, when my kids were small, they actually had a Christmas festival and they would bring in a snow machine, and they would basically build like this 10-foot mound of ice because it would basically
because it would melt.
ice,
Yeah.
right? And then kids would be able to get a sled and slide down it so that they could say they went sledding. Of course, it was 65, 70 degrees outside. Not a bad way to go sledding, but
let's see. All right, we got to get back to the morning show here. We've got weather, and then we'll talk about the story that I've been waiting to talk about. Oh, yeah, it says here New Orleans has more snow than some parts of Alaska. How about that?
Yeah.
We'll have more in just a moment on WSJM.
Couple of light snow showers Saturday, partly sunny, and a high of 32. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
See, I love statistics and measurements, metrics. How do you know you're making progress if you don't measure, right?
Right.
And so New Orleans, we were talking about snow in New Orleans this week. New Orleans has more snow than some parts of Alaska. The Big Easy got 10 inches of snow this week, tying a record set in 1895. And according to the National Weather Service, New Orleans got twice as much snow this week than what fell on Anchorage since the beginning of December.
Wow. Yeah, that's
Mardi Gras.
Right.
So anyway, if you're looking for the snow, I don't know, check the current forecast. We've got enough of it here, and thankfully our temperatures are moderating a little bit. We're supposed to get up to freezing tomorrow, up to 32 degrees in most of our area of Southwest Michigan. So looking forward to that. I bet the feels like temperature will probably still be a little bit colder.
Yeah.
Because it takes a while to get all that stuff out, but because it's going to be breezy. But 12 degrees right now in Benton Harbor, 15 degrees in St. Joseph, 15 in South Haven. The feels like temperature in St. Joseph, still chilly. It still feels like 3 degrees. But this story caught my attention. A South Bend woman has been charged after she was on video going viral earlier this month for impersonating a police officer. Maybe you saw the video where there was a woman who went up to a Ring camera and hit the doorbell. Why you do anything on a Ring camera?
Yeah,
Because you can tell it's a camera.
Right.
So anyway, she rang the doorbell and she identified herself as a police officer, even though you can clearly see her on the video, not wearing a uniform, just some yahoo who drove up in a regular civilian car.
Right.
She identified herself as a police officer and said, "Hey, police is here. Police is here." Nobody answered the door, thankfully. And as she was walking away down the driveway, she got a knife out of her pocket and punctured one of these big monster trucks in the driveway. Punctured their tire. Those are expensive tires.
Yes, they are.
And then they drove off. So there was a big search on who is this woman. If you know this person, well, somebody ratted her out.
Ooh. She obviously told somebody what she did.
32-year-old Elizabeth Trowbridge is facing 2 counts of impersonating a public servant and 1 count of criminal mischief. Her charges stem from the incident I described when she was caught on the Ring doorbell camera impersonating a police officer, slashing tires. This happened back on January 12th. And again, she's seen clearly on the camera after waiting for someone to answer the door. No one answers the door, walking down the driveway, crouching down in front of a tire, punching the tire. And then you could hear on the Ring camera, you could hear psst, and you could see the truck going down.
It's a big tire.
Yeah. According to charging documents, Trowbridge and the man in the video went to the Mishawaka Police Department the day after the incident to speak with detectives. That's when Trowbridge reportedly told them that she went to the home to retrieve a jar containing her father's ashes that she had given to a man she had met on a dating site.
What?
Where do you go with that? I met you on a dating site. Would you hold this jar for me, please?
Yeah. Oh, sure. Well, what's in the jar?
My
father's ashes.
My father's ashes. Court paperwork states she claimed to be police because she thought that was the only way to get the person to come back to the door and get her jar back. Investigators say she initially denied slashing the tire, but later, after she was shown the video, admitted to doing it. Police say they also interviewed the man from the dating site who was whose home it was and whose truck it was, presumably. He reportedly told them he was at work at the time and offered to drop off the jar with the father's ashes after he got off work. But the Trowbridge told him she wanted it now. After being interviewed, police say Trowbridge was arrested, later released on bond. She's scheduled to appear in court this upcoming Monday, January 27th. By the way, I drive a 1970-something Pinto. Don't come to the door, please. Prosecutors say the man captured the video with Trowbridge. That man has not been charged in connection with anything because he didn't portray himself as a law enforcement officer or engage in the vandalism. Why he had the jar of ashes, who knows?
Obviously, it wasn't in the truck.
Wow. There's a lot more to that story.
I'm sure there is.
I think we probably need to dispatch our special correspondent to to the court case.
Brett, go to South Bend and find out what happened.
Yeah, when
call us.
the court proceedings are happening, we need to get the full story on that. I mean, it sounds like there was I don't know, some sort of relationship that went bad. But what in the world happens that you turn jars of ashes of your loved ones over?
It gives new meaning to the phrase "too soon."
Oh, jeez. Anyway, all right. It's the WSJM morning show. We've got more to talk about in just a couple of minutes. We have the Moody on the Market update we need to get to, and news as well.
I have a trivia question for you.
Okay, I love trivia questions.
So,
Go.
in 1984, today in 1984, what happened that changed culture in the world?
Okay, so we're talking about January 24th, 1984. Van Halen broke up.
Good guess.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
Apple launched its Macintosh computer and changed personal computing forever.
Okay. I like that. That's a good piece of trivia.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have are you on an Apple right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I covered up my Apple.
Why?
Here because they didn't give this to me, and so I'm not giving them credit unless they decide to.
Oh, you're not doing the free advertising.
Not for this.
Did
they got to pony up?
Did Pinehurst golf course give you anything?
No, but somebody gave me that sticker.
Okay. All right. 757.
PXG, and then this is Watermark Brewery, which, hey, I'm giving you some reps. So
we've got to come back with more in just a moment. I've got some ads to get to, some paid ads right here on the WSJM morning show.
Rich Brand and Tara Causey from Insurance Management Service, your local auto owners insurance agency in St. Joseph and Niles, know it means something to have peace of mind knowing you're in.
All right. That is an interesting lap tat you've got there.
You like it?
Well, I don't understand Watermark Brewery's. It looks like DXG.
Oh, PXG.
Oh, it's PXG.
Yeah.
What does that stand for?
So I have PXG golf clubs.
Oh, well, where's the Watermark one?
In the middle.
Oh, the octopus thing.
Yeah.
With the diver's helmet.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. Okay. How do you like your PXG golf clubs? Are those like Pings or something? Are they a competitor of Ping?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's Parsons Extreme Golf, PXG.
Oh.
So he created his own company to make golf clubs. And so they were a disruptor.
Okay.
So they came out with extremely expensive golf clubs that they basically marketed to professionals and high end. And then they offered, after they got established, they offered a more consumer priced club. And my driver, my 3-wood, and my hybrid are PXG, and I like them.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
So they gave me a sticker when I bought the clubs, and
now it works. Computer. I like that a lot. I love my Apple devices. I am glad they came out with what they came out with, and I'm glad Microsoft actually helped them stay in business when they were having their most trying moments.
Yes.
All right, we'll be right back with WSJM Morning Show in just a moment.
Benton Harbor, St. Joseph. Depend on us.
All right, it's the WSJM Morning Show. That's our cue to say something.
Go.
Go. It's 7:59. It's Friday, January 24th. Thank you so much for joining us on the WSJM Morning Show. We were all over the place this morning. So if you missed any part of it, it was a good 7 o'clock hour. We have the video archive already available.
Oh yeah.
Our workers have already put it up on the websites.
Right.
So on YouTube and on Facebook, you can check out the video archive. Just go to your social media platform of choice and type in WSJM in the search
You've heard
bar.
of Elf on the Shelf. We have workers on the web.
Yes, we have workers on the web. Just go to
They
your
just do stuff.
platform of choice and type in WSJM and look at the videos there. All right, we've got news now from ABC. We'll have our local news next. The weather forecast for today, currently looking at about 7 degrees in Buchanan. The feels like is 0. Good morning. It's 8 o'clock.
From ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. President Trump heading to wildfire.
Do you do the Elf on the Shelf?
No.
Why not?
It's weird.
What do you mean it's weird?
I just think it's weird.
You feel like it's Big Brother watching you or something like
no,
that?
I just think it's an odd, weird. I don't know. It was never anything that I did as a kid, and so
Yeah.
it just seems like a very weird thing to do.
It's a
but-
cute marketing idea, though.
It is.
And especially in the day and age of social media, they have the most creative things that you
Right.
see out there. It's just fun to see. It's fun to see. We've not done it, but
Have you seen? They've got the Elf on the Shelf, and then they have the one that's Snoop Dogg. It's Snoop on, I forget what they call it, but it's Snoop in a Christmas, like Elf on the Shelf
oh,
thing, same
Okay.
size figure. It's just Snoop rather
Oh.
than the elf.
yeah, there's a lot of rhyming out there that I won't go there, but yeah, that's fun.
I won't go.
I
there.
won't go there.
Come on.
Not today. All right, let's
We've already
see.
talked about nude beaches. You
Teresa
can go there.
says that's crazy. I assume she's talking about the dating site Ash Jar dispute. That's just so weird. That's so weird.
Well, it just reframes the whole thing.
Yeah.
With that information, hey, somebody walked up to a ring cam. They poked the tire. There had to be some ill feeling. What's that about? Oh, this is the same woman that on probably the first or second date gave her father's ashes to this guy. Okay, there's a whole new set of quirky quackiness going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, the monster tires on the pickup that she slashed the tire of.
Yeah.
I don't know this because I've not done it, but I assume it's not easy to puncture a tire.
Oh, especially one of that size.
One of that size,
Right.
you've got to have something sharp and ready to go.
And some serious muscle behind it.
Anyway, all right.
I've
Thanks
never
for
done it, but I've seen it on the movies, and that's the way that all happens.
thank you for joining us on the video live stream. We'll be back on Monday. Have a good weekend.